Breaking news, the Tour de France 2013 edition is over and Chris Froome has won. This is TYTSports and I'm Dave Koller, and I've been reading the comments and some of you are saying you're starting to like me. Thank you. Yeah, Chris Froome had a 5-minute lead half a dozen stages ago. Of course he was going to win. It wasn't very dramatic. Yeah, he could have collapsed. On the second to last stage, there was an outside category mountain finish. Alberto Contador collapsed on that climb. He went from second down to fifth or so. He lost his place on the podium. But Chris Froome did not collapse. The day before that, 2 climbs up Alpe d'Huez, and Chris Froome hung on for those also. Gotta love that little Colombian, Nairo Quintana Rojas. Like, if you think cycling has a doping problem, this dude was born in Colombia. He was probably born on cocaine. All right, I don't mean to slander. I apologize. I don't know anything about him. I love it when South American athletes excel, except some of these goofy clay court only tennis players like Marcel Rios or Gaston Gaudio. That's not that impressive. But give me a good Juan Martín del Potro, Gustavo Kuerten. That's an athlete I can get behind. Back to the Tour de France. So the general classification wasn't that exciting. You just had to watch it because Chris Froome, he could have also collapsed in the mountains, but he doesn't. He was very strong this year with that kind of weird riding style where he ducks his head and lifts it up again and he waves his arms like this. That's his style. It worked for him this year. Now, the final stage in Paris set up for the sprinters. That was a great spectacle and great day of bike riding. They started the stage late in the afternoon so that they'd get to Paris just before nightfall. Very well timed. 10 laps around the Champs-Élysées. And fittingly enough, the 4 best sprinters in the world right now finished in the first 4 places in the final sprint. Now, Peter Sagan was not in contention really. He finished 4th, but significantly behind the other 3. Marcel Kittel, the star of this year's Tour de France, he won his 4th stage and won in Paris on the Champs-Élysées. Cavendish did not have the best lines. He did not have a good lead out like he has for his 20-something other victories in his 4 years in a row of winning on the Champs-Élysées. And it cost him. Also, his final stretch down on the Champs-Élysées, he was on some rough road. His bike was bouncing all over the place. Just to his left, Marcel Kittel was on a nice smooth road, and he went in for the finish. I think Greipel of the 3 was traveling fastest at the end, but he couldn't catch Marcel Kittel, who had the little lead going into the final couple hundred meters and the sprint. There was a very exciting sprint on the Champs-Élysées to finish the race. Very great spectacle in Paris. Tour de France is always a great spectacle, and it lived up to it this year. Now, this is Tour de France more than any other sporting event. As soon as it's done, your excitement for the next year starts to build. Because the plot lines, the possible matchups are great. First of all, if Bradley Wiggins comes back, then you have Wiggins, Froome, and Richie Porte, all very strong. For now, all on Sky. I don't know if that will last until next year. But there's some great competition right there. Now, I actually don't think Bradley Wiggins has it in him. I don't think he'll ever contend for another Tour de France. That's not his kind of racing. He did great last year. The team was amazing, but I don't think he can contend. Then you got Nairo Quintana. We'll see. His was his first Tour de France, so he should be back strong and a little more experienced next year. That's another mix for the GC contenders. I think Contador is done, but Andy Schleck might still have something left. This year was a disaster. Maybe he'll focus and come back strong next year. Maybe he'll have his brother Frank back. And then all the other contenders, the guys who finished strong this year, Joaquim Rodriguez, maybe TJ Van Garderen will have another year of experience under his belt and he'll be a stronger rider. So it could be a good Tour de France. But what happens between 1 July and the next is a lot of these excited, anticipated matchups don't really happen. They don't pan out once you hit the road. But still, it's great sport because I'm excited for the next one already. It's less than 24 hours since the conclusion of the 2013 100th edition. So that's your Tour de France now. Congratulations to Chris Froome. I hope he gets an audience with Princess Kate's new baby, or maybe he doesn't give a shit like the rest of us. And I enjoyed watching it. The sprints, the mountains, the climbs, the landscape. It's all great. See you in yellow next year. Keep on TYTSports. Next up for me, US Open Tennis. Tweet me at Dave Koller. Out.